You can't build a skyscraper on a foundation meant for a house. That's why I mentioned Marx. That you're building a foundation, and we mentioned the future. We mentioned AI, and are you worried about AI?
No, I think in the same way that everybody's worried about Alias getting rid of clay modelers, AI getting rid of designers. It'll find its place in the car industry. I think it'll find its place. I do think that it will stimulate, because it quite clearly will. I don't know if it will find the solutions all the time for people, because I still think that will come from the individuals.
Yeah.
I do see that potentially some people whose work, as I say, was never presented as well, their ideas might get further down the line now because suddenly their idea could be presented better. I also think that there was a time where you could sort of almost age a design by how it was represented, and sometimes that's to do with the designers doing it, their skill set somewhere. And I've got a feeling that this might bring them sort of back into the picture where their ideas actually are being presented at the same level. So I think it's quite interesting. I think it's not going to be a downside for everybody. I'm sure there is. We're all talking about it. Is it going to get rid of people? And I was listening to a guy who's doing games, and up till now he's done all the environments and the backgrounds. And he says, now I'm just sitting there typing. And it's not so much that he's lost his job, it's that he's lost the creative part of his job.
Yeah.
And therefore he's saying, well, I'm walking away. This isn't what I signed up for. So I think there's a bit of that, is going to come in as well, where there is going to be negatives, no doubt about it. But hopefully, as a tool from a design perspective, there's positives from it, and the mixes that are going on. And yeah, people are going to have to work with it, but it won't be the be all and end all.
Yeah, no, I'm just interested because it's like you mentioned earlier, the ideas part for you is important when you're looking at someone, and if you can get more ideas, you can develop the design better, you can develop the ideas, you can look at all the possibilities. And I think something that, especially me, is like what I thought was different from us from computers is that our creativity. I thought that was something that you can't replicate in a machine, but the fact that you're able to give it prompts and you're able to describe what you want and then it creates it.
Yeah.
I think that's the part I struggle with, and I think most people do struggle with, is the fact that I can't be creative anymore. But like you said, it's coming up with more designs, more ideas, and this is the way you use those ideas.
I think there's always been a worry that too many ideas can be thrown up on a wall. And then so when the next one comes along and people start covering walls with ideas, and AI could do that, you could have so many of them, but how do you spot the one that's correct? How do you pull that one out? So I think that could be somewhere that there's got to be a bit of a selection process going on, and so therefore not only does the idea going up have to be maybe thought about a bit more, but the person choosing them and making the right choice has still got to be, I don't think they'll be quite able to go, oh, well, I'll just pick that one. Somehow they're going to have to work a way to filter the stuff that's coming out.
I mean, so if you look at your process so far, as you mentioned, you're a small team. Like, where do you think it would fit in best in the company?
I think maybe just that point, maybe where you could get some ideas rendered up quickly and just to see what they're looking like, so that they're maybe not having to spend so much time. Well, let's render this one out and then go back. So more the filling in the gaps, maybe. I'm not sure. We've had one client that came to us and said, right, here's the brief, and oh, by the way, this is what I typed in, and the card that came back was a mismatch of other things.
Yeah.
And yet the design that when we designed something that he went for wasn't anything really like what he had shown us. So I think that shows that there's still that area that you've got to get an idea and understand what they're really looking for. And maybe that'll come with AI, that once you really understand what the client wants, then you've got someone who can interpret it and get that across. But I think everybody's learning from it, and the more people that are experimenting and working out from sketch to render, from render to sort of replica car, from replica car back to sketch, there'll be a way that it will sort of come together and they'll understand, how to get the best out of it. And where it fits exactly, yeah, maybe we're all sort of trying to work that one out.